Good morning and welcome to the Monday Morning Minute. I'm your host, Dr. Pete Prococo. Hey, have you ever found yourself just in a rut? Just kind of can't figure out how to get happy and things are kind of cruising along each day, same old mundane life? Well, I'm sure we've all been there at some point or another. But I want to share with you something that I listened to a couple of days ago. It was by a great speaker named Simon Sinek, S-I-N-E-K. If you've heard Simon before, then I'm sure that you'll resonate with the message I'm about to share with you. But anyway, so Simon had the luxury of having an opportunity to go and spend time with the U.S. Marines. While he was with them in Camp Lejeune, he was able to just witness their training sessions. And he began to notice this trend about the Marines that seems to bond these men and women together. And it was this, that the Marine Corps gives them tasks to perform which are almost impossible to perform alone. So they have to figure out a way to come together, to work together in order to solve the problem at hand. But it was interesting, he was saying that, if you take people that have been together for only just a few days and don't know each other from different cultures, and within just a few weeks, they're learning how to communicate and work together as a unit because they're not able to do it alone, which is really powerful. And he said that sometimes there would be a slow learner who didn't quite get it. It would take them longer to figure out exactly the importance of their contribution to the team. So therefore, those that didn't get it early were ostracized by the other guys in the group. And they were stood alone. And of course, alone they fail, which led to a lot of disciplinary action against them, until they finally recognized at some point that they needed to be part of the solution rather than part of the problem, to bond together for the greater good of the Marine Corps. I thought that was kind of cool. I really liked the message. But the message is even further than that. So when they were asked, you're a soldier in the Marines, so you put yourself in danger quite often. Yes. Why do you do it? For God and country? The resounding answer was no chance. Matter of fact, the reason that they do what they do as combat Marines is for the guy on either side of them, right or left. Meaning that they knew that they were willing to put their own life in jeopardy for the guy next to them because they knew that the guy next to them would do the same thing for them. It was about coming together in a sense of purpose and fellowship to work for each other for the greater good. An interesting story about the greater good. So Simon says that he meets with the frontline cadets, guys that are going to literally go hand to hand beyond the field. And he asks them, do you feel misunderstood by the American public? And the answer was yes. Well, why do you think that is? He goes, the American public sees us as baby killers, and it's painful. It's not who we are. So Simon says, why don't you tell us some stories that are important to you about your time now here in the Marine Corps? And of course, he thought he was going to hear these amazing stories about, battle and about pulling men or other Marines out of harm's way. And he goes, actually, I didn't hear any of that. He goes, I heard a lot of different types of stories. Not that those don't exist, those are the stories, they do. But what he heard was a slew of stories about the goodness of the Marines. And he told us one story about this small village that was being overrun by the Taliban, and they were forced out. And so they had moved out, and they moved down by a river a number of miles away. And it was becoming close to the winter time, and one of the officers in the Marine Corps gets a knock on his door. And it's one of the elders from the community of these refugees. And he says, we would like you to come down to the river and kill us all. And he goes, what? What do you mean kill us all? He goes, well, if we go back to the village, we're going to be killed by the Taliban. We know that. But now we have the winter upon us, and we're likely to freeze by the river. The only thing that we could see that makes any sense is for the U.S. Marines to come down and do it in a humane way and get it done with. Wow, that kind of rocked the Marines. And within just a few months, the Marines had gone into that village and had eradicated the Taliban. And within a year, they came back in that same area, and that whole village is repopulated, and they were all outside playing volleyball. And he said, this is the goodness of what the Marines bring. And it was such a good story that everybody resonated around it. And they will for you as well. I want you to think of this. If you're struggling, go out and help somebody. That's all it takes, is to have to understand that we cannot do life alone. You can have anything you want in life. You just have to create it. The problem is you have to stay at it consistently, day after day after day after day, and you must build a social network of people around you that will support that for you. So in order to, to move forward, you've got to go out and help other people. And in the moment that you're helping somebody, you're releasing that chemical I've talked about before, which is oxytocin, which makes you feel really good as a human. It brings that sense of fellowship, and that person you just helped feels the same way, which then they go out and help somebody else, and those two people feel the same way. And before you know it, the first action that you made to reach out to somebody not only helped them in that moment, but it also helped to drive the production of oxytocin, a hormone that makes us feel incredible. And then that hormone is being shared each time another person helps another person. If you want your life to be better, if you want to have a sense of purpose, if you want to feel like you're making a difference in life, then do just that. Do just like the Marines. Go out and do something for somebody because it's right. And when I say do something, give of your time and your energy, because that speaks volumes. Giving somebody $5 or $10 is important, but giving somebody some part of your day to take care of their family or friends, that has so much more of an impact. So this week I want you to think about just simply going out and helping someone. I know it's holiday week and Thanksgiving week, so that's kind of even more appropriate, but it should be any day of your life. Just go help somebody. And in that time, you're going to find that you're going to help them and yourself, and you're going to start populating your area around you with people who are just genuinely happy and ready to help somebody else. Now that's a place that I want to live in, or a community that I want to be a part of. So I hope you take my words and put them to use. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week on the Monday Morning Minute.